Hello, my friends. Stay a while and listen. Sorry. Hello, class. It's the evil professor here. Today's special lesson for Halloween, we're going to be looking at a very scary figure, Diablo. From Diablo 2, Blizzard's... there's a small wave of Diablo 2 figures from Blizzard. I'm not sure who actually manufactured the figures, but they were official Blizzard merchandise. So, we can look at Diablo here. In terms of the sculpt, if I just give you a quick kind of view of the big nasty guy himself, we can see just how much time and detail they put into sculpting this thing. And then we'll talk about the colors a little bit more and some other stuff. But if we look, I mean, I don't know how well we can pick it up, but the skin on the legs has texture, and we have the scales on his shoulders and his arms. We can see how the horns are kind of rigid as well. And again, the amount of detail, you can see the bones and some of the veins in his hands and, of course, his claws. Now, his coloring, you know what? Yep, that's the coloring of Diablo from the game. If you remember, you fight him, well, it was before the expansion, but in Hell, I forget what the room was called now, and until they nerfed it, you just throw frost or frozen orbs or just do leap attacks and just smoke him down. And he did a whole bunch of cool attacks like Chain Lightning, and I think he did a Fire Nova, and then he would just beat the tar out of you as well. Now this figure, I think they came out, again, it's probably 6, 7, 8 years ago now, so it'd probably be hard to find. You'd probably still pick them up on eBay, sorry. But now in terms of articulation, not a whole lot. We can move his head, and that will go all the way around. It's on a kind of a ball joint, so we can move it up and down a little bit, and we can rotate it around. His arms, they have a full range of motion, except that other things kind of get in the way, so you might have trouble. Oh, there we go. Same, other one is pretty much the same. There we go. The waist, we can rotate, again, all the way around. Joints are still very stiff on this one. Oh, here we go. Now the legs, not a whole lot. This one moves back a little bit and then forward, and then same with this one. But really, especially with the legs, if you try to, like, besides trying to make him lean forward, or maybe lean backwards a little bit, that's really all you're going to do with him. Because if the legs aren't basically situated in the same position, he will not stand up. You can't do anything dynamic with the legs at all. But having Diablo stand up like that seems kind of silly, because when you encounter him, he tends to move like a four-legged animal, so it is kind of better to have him crouching over a little bit. The other point, his tail does move. This tail actually does come off like that. Whoops. There we go. So we have full detachable action there. Actually, if we look at the tail again, we can see the scales underneath and how much detail they put into the, I don't know if I want to say horns or spikes that line his tail. That is awesome. So we can pop that back on. It's not something I would try taking off and putting back on too often, or eventually it just won't stay on too well at all. There we go. This back piece, which I won't try to too much, this thing would also come off, or at least you had to put it on when you first got it out of the package. But now I don't know if it's supposed to come off again, and I don't want to try because I'll probably end up breaking it. Now, there are other figures from this wave. There was a Barbarian, which I didn't get because, I don't know, I thought he looked kind of stupid, even though I'd played a Barbarian a lot during the game. We also have this ugly, nasty dude here. He's called an Unraveler. He would be one of Diablo's, like, well, maybe Bale's minions? I don't know. Get out of here. Stupid zombie. Ugh. There we go. This is the big guy himself. He kicked the crap out of an Unraveler. Now, there is one other feature that maybe we should have a look at. And it's I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but we'll see how well we can do it. If we look really close, we get his head, see if we can get it in focus. The soul stone in his head. Actually, let me do a little bit of background. The soul stone in his head, that's that gem here, and eventually we have to grab these from the 3 primevals and smash them. This was what the first Diablo had in the first game, and then when you killed him, spoiler alert, it's only like 10 or 12 years old, you would take the hero took the gem from Diablo and then stuffed it in his own forehead. Like, he grabbed and just went, blah! And it didn't kill him, which is actually kind of odd. But anyways, And eventually Diablo, whose soul is in this stone, possessed the hero and then became this. So we're after that. So it's this soul stone that's important. But if we look carefully, see how close I can get up there. We can actually see an image of the soul of the lost hero. Can you see it there? There? Good, you saw it? That's awesome. So that is actually kind of a neat feature for this figure. Just the fact that you can see that soul in there, because, you know, Diablo basically stole it. Well, he stole the body. I think the soul is more or less gone. But anyways, I think that is our look at Diablo. I don't have too much else to say. It's an excellent figure. If you like the Blizzard kind of stuff and you don't, you know, you want something other than the World of Warcraft figures, and I think there's a few StarCraft figures, if you can still pick up the Diablo figures, especially Diablo himself, I think he's going to be good. Not a lot of articulation, not a lot of dynamic action poses you're going to do with him, but you know what? This is excellent to have guarding your desk. He's very, very cool. Once again, stand up. There we go. If I was going to give him a rating, I'll give him a rating of B+. I give him a little bit more, except I like more articulation. But I think if we had more articulation, we would lose the detail in his joints and in his body. So I guess it's kind of a trade-off. But still, a very good figure. If you see it at a show or you can pick it up at a decent price online, I'd recommend doing it. I do think it would be worth having, especially if you're a Blizzard fan and you like the figures from their games. So anyways, that was our look at Diablo from Diablo 2. Thank you very much, and class is dismissed.